I should have done that last night. But yeah. You didn't add me on here, man.
What do you mean? Yes, I did. Refresh. You didn't refresh. Yeah.
Where's the?
You always get in too far. Go down. The three dots. Privacy. And public. Ready? Oh, shoot.
Oh, Marley.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, what's going on?
Happy Thursday.
Yes, it is Thursday. 1 day away from a 4-day weekend.
For some.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Some people do have to work tomorrow. Sucks to be you.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Ron.
And we are
Chatter of Opinion. What we got today?
So today we are talking about dating single parents. And what is worse? Dating a single mother or dating a single father?
Yes. Now, we're not talking about what's worse as far as even dating a single parent. We're saying if you're going to date a single parent, which one? Which one would be more challenging?
Difficult.
Yes.
I guess.
Whether it be a single mother versus a single father.
Yeah.
Okay.
And either way, dating is hard, but when you bring kids to the mix and dating a single parent, it comes with some added issues.
Sometimes. Yeah, right? It could.
Good. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if in my day, if I even thought about like dating a single mom or not. Yeah, like was it even a thought for me to say, you know what, that just young lady has a child, I would not date that person. Or it just, if you were a good person to me and you had a kid, then.
I agree with you. I never thought that way when I was dating. Even when I was young, like say in college, did I date anyone with kids at that time? Like, was it an issue for me type thing? I don't remember.
Like I said, I don't remember. And I've known people that had kids in like high school. But I never said to myself, oh, I would never date a single mom and so forth. Or I never didn't date someone because they had kids.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know which one would be. Well, I have in my mind which one would be more difficult. But I've never discounted someone because they had children. Kids. Yes.
I have discounted somebody if they said they didn't want to date someone with children. Like when I was online dating, if it said like, you know, anything about not wanting to date, you were overpassed. Like I passed you up.
What do you mean? Like if it said on the profile or something like that?
Like of course I would pass you up because I have a kid, right? Or if just in general, if I meet someone and we talk about things and he just doesn't seem like, right, a person. Like if you're just like trying to see someone for fun, okay, I get it. I may at that time just want something casual, but eventually you just think of those things. Okay. You have to consider them.
Consider who?
You have to consider if this person wants to date someone with kids or not. Because some people say they go in not necessarily denying they have kids, but they want to get to know that person first without that. And I think you need to get it out of the way because the kids it's a package deal, right?
Yes.
So to say on 3 dates you've like dated someone 3 times and they don't know you have kids, I feel like I would be like, well, did you know if I was even interested? You've wasted 3 dates of mine. Like you wasted my time.
Well, that depends though. If I'm not really serious about you, mm-hmm. I'm not going to not only tell you that I have kids, but I'm just going to keep it basic with you.
But why can't you keep it basic with like, hey, I do have kids, but I'm not looking for anything serious. You will never meet my kids. Are you okay with just hanging out to have fun as a companion? My kids are with their father every other week. I have time. I just need someone to fill my time.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Is that a little too
No, I can see that. But if a person doesn't say that they have kids from the start, that's a foul in itself, because once you get too deep into a relationship and liking somebody, if that other person doesn't want kids, you're right. They have wasted their time. That's what I'm saying.
You wasted my time.
I would agree. As far as meeting the kids, though,
that's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah.
Right?
Very, very much so.
Yeah. So, okay, let's get to it. Shall we talk about the difficulties of dating a single mother?
Oh, a single mother. So I shall go. The first, I don't know if it's a difficulty or not.
And these aren't in order. We didn't do any type of order.
And this doesn't mean all single moms or all single dads or this, that, and the other. We're just talking in general.
Yes.
From research that we've heard or done. Yes. So the first thing when it comes to maybe difficult when it comes to dating a single mom is she's already expected to do it all. She might not need you for just about anything, because before you came along, I was taking the kids to soccer practice. I was doing the homework. I was cleaning. I was cooking. I was doing everything without you. Yeah. So then when you come into the picture, it just seems like you're not kind of wanted. Because of the fact that you've already been doing it. And in today's society with the so independent woman and whatnot, that can be an issue.
We have that as a future podcast too.
Yeah, just like the independent woman, when you come into it, if that young lady has an attitude that I don't need nobody, I've been doing it by myself, it's going to be hard for you to kind of gain that control to get inside of that woman's mind or into the routine, because she's been doing it without you.
Yes, I agree.
All right.
It's hard to squeeze someone in when you already have a schedule and you have things kind of going the way that it just works for your family. And then all of a sudden you have to consider an additional person.
For me, if I'm going to date you and you was doing it all before, so be it. I commend that. I'm going to come in, I'm going to embrace your routine or whatever. And then I can see what I can add on to your routine. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to fit in where you put me in.
But what if you come in and she runs a crazy household and she's like a night owl and her kids are night owls, but you wake up early and you don't think that?
You cannot tell a woman.
No.
You cannot tell a woman that what she has been doing is not beneficial for what you need to do.
I hear you.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. If you guys are seeing each other and then all of a sudden you guys, again, all of these questions may not be considered, right? If you're like, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Let's move in together. And then you move in together and then you realize, oh, they're night owls. I have to be at work by 6.
Okay.
This isn't going to work.
But that should be talked about before they even move in. Like, this is what the schedule is.
You would think, but there's a lot of things people think they know everything about their partner. They move in and it's completely different.
You should know the routine.
They leave the empty eggshells in the egg carton.
Yeah, which is a pet peeve of mine. Don't do that.
Leave their laundry in the laundry room for months on end.
Also a pet peeve of mine. You better not be doing that either.
He's so guilty of that. Don't believe him. All right.
Okay, let's go to the guy. Next. Oh, you want to go?
Yeah,
go
let's
down
go all single mother.
Okay, guys, and this is what I said, which is caused some confusion between the two of us.
Yes.
When it comes to a single mother, a guy will eventually have to step up and provide for the children.
Clarify. Provide what?
Everything.
But
normally, it's probably eventually is going to be a financial situation where you have to step in and you have to provide for the children, because the man is normally seen as the provider of the family. So no matter if it's emotional, financial, or whatever, he's going to be held to a certain standard to provide for that person's children.
And I disagree.
Okay, but why would you disagree?
Because you're making it sound like this family has just been waiting for someone to come in and save them and start providing.
I did not say that.
She was clearly providing the household necessities before you
came in. I agree.
In.
But then when the man comes to the household and he's dating a single parent or a single mom, he's not just going to come in and just date the mom. He's going to have to step up and provide.
I hear you. Yes, a good man will start contributing,
what
right?
You mean a good man?
Not that you're expected to be the provider just because.
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is it's not expected. Eventually, he's going to have to do it because of the fact that he's going to have to prove that he is the man of the household. He's going to have to provide.
Is that still a thing that?
Yes, the man.
Like they have to be a
girl. You better do some research.
Household?
Yes, that's why you always say. That's all why, especially in today's age, why you always hear that these guys have to do A, B, C, D, and E. You have to provide, you have to protect, you have to do this, that, and the other. A man has to do that. If you don't do that, then you're not being a man. You've never heard that. That's why people say, hey, I require you to take me to this fancy restaurant.
That
you got to do this, that,
when
and the
women
other.
now have to work as well.
What do you mean? But
you're
even if a woman
I have to
works,
be the provider and the protector and this. Women are working too to help provide for half of the household.
But when you're talking about the person that is in charge of the household, and
there's a difference between head of household and providing for the household.
Okay,
if you're providing for the household, that means I get to stay my butt home, and I don't have to contribute to financially the household.
Not necessarily. You have people that, like, the guy is the provider of the house for the household.
Provider of
anything. When it comes to what is expected of a man, he's expected to provide for the household.
But that's what I'm saying. If you come into a woman's household, she's already been doing that.
Okay, so then the guy's just sitting back chilling?
No, no one expects you to come in and all of a sudden you're paying the bills, or all of a sudden you're
all of a sudden. Read what I said. God will eventually. I didn't say he will just come in and do
slowly she's gonna.
Eventually, this guy is not just going to be sitting there chilling. He's going to have to provide in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
And normally the providing is going to have to be in a financial aspect of something to reduce the workload. In my opinion.
Guys, if maybe I'm not understanding what he's meaning, let us know and chime in. But I still disagree, even with all this explanation.
Okay.
I disagree that a man eventually needs to step up and provide for the children.
I'm not saying he's going to take on the father responsibility and pay like child support, but he's going to have to be involved and he's going to have to provide, because women want security. And normally security comes with the protection and what a man can provide for you. Not security as sitting on the couch watching football. You're going to have to provide something. You don't think that? Let a dude come in on your watch and you working and you taking care of this, that, and the other, and that man is not providing.
I hear what I think maybe providing is different for me and you.
So what word would you use?
Because yes, if a man is moving into my house with my children, Okay? I don't expect him to eventually, all of a sudden, he's the one
you
paying the bills.
Eventually,
he's
all
the
of a
one
sudden.
taking. Well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Eventually, all of a sudden, eventually,
thank you.
You're paying all the bills and you're providing, or you're being the dad or whatever. Like, no,
I didn't say paying all of anything.
So I don't. That's what I'm saying. That I'm not understanding what you mean.
Let's go to the next one.
Thank you.
So the next one would be
someone chime in, please, if you understand and can explain it to me what you think he's saying.
What I'm saying is, when you look at a family dynamic, right? Most people are traditional. Right? Most people are traditional. In traditional families, the man does what? I'll wait.
In traditional, from the 50s,
traditional period, the man does what?
He works.
Which is also another word for...
He brings the money in.
Which is also another phrase for...
It's sugar daddy.
Provide. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, but now, like I said, nowadays, women normally have to work as well. I
agree. I agree with you. Yeah, I have it on here. I don't know why it doesn't come up here. Gina. What's up, Gina? She says, I am single, but if I move in with somebody, which is probably very rare, if I did, we would have to come in with mutual and commitment of understanding from the beginning.
Yeah.
Or commitment of helping out with paying bills would be an understanding from the beginning. Okay, I get that. So she's saying basically, if she moved in with somebody from the start, it would be said who's going to do what within the relationship.
Yeah,
I get that part. But when I was a child, my mom did not work. She was a homemaker. Right. My dad paid all the bills.
Correct. Your dad was the provider back in the day. That is not as common nowadays.
Are you
not
serious?
As common.
Are you serious?
Not as common. Yes.
Well, nowadays I understand that it takes, in a relationship, normally it takes both parties, both men and women, to work, both couples, because of the economy, inflation, or whatever you want to call it, right? Okay. However, when you come into somebody's household, you're going to be expected to provide something.
To contribute. Yes.
Which is also called providing.
Those are two different things. Providing means you are supporting the household on your own. That
is not what that means. Because you can provide in a lot of things outside of being financial.
Okay.
You can.
We're going to move on from that. Alma says, bring home the bacon.
Okay.
Crystal says it's going to be 50-50, and part of that 50 is her and the kid.
What? What?
I don't think you shared yours. You need to go back.
I did. You said part of the 50-50 would be what?
She's saying part of that 50 is her and the kid. Yeah, there you go. And then that. Then click in it.
Okay. Oh, okay. So now we got them. Y'all definitely have different providing definitions. I would agree. I would agree with that.
That's what I said. Yeah. Okay. Traditional is dead, though. I agree, Jasmine.
Jasmine's I don't know about 19.
Maybe I don't agree with it being dead, but again, in our economy, it does take two people. Not often do you have the man who's providing all of the income and the woman staying home.
I get that part, but when it comes to what society thinks a man should do, I'm just saying what society thinks a man should do, the number one thing would be providing. The second thing would be protecting. You provide for your family, you protect your family. So if you come into my household, and I'm thinking this as a woman, and you're not going to eventually provide, then I don't really need you, because what do I need you for? Why are you just sitting around and you're not providing? That's just me. On to the next one.
On.
No time to waste. When it comes to dating a single woman, that woman ain't got no time to be playing no games with your butt. You know what I mean? It has to do with the planning of everything, depending on the age of their kids and how many age of the kids and how many they have and what they're involved in. When it comes down to it, you're not going to come into a single mother's life and just waste her time.
Yep.
Yeah, because she has A, B, C, and D to do. And she's gonna take care of that. And when you came in, everything was running smooth. I'm not about to waste my time on you, and you ain't about to do nothing. You ain't about to come into my household and provide.
Gina says, now you're talking.
Yes, yes. When it comes to single parent, and that could be an issue for guys, because guys, I would admit, love to waste time. No matter if it's with words, no matter if it's with unfulfilled actions, this, that, and the other. They love to waste time. Just get to it. A single mother wants to be, if she's accustomed to be a single mother, she don't have time for the BS. It's just, come on, man. Bring it to the table. Let's go. If you have no intentions for me, then let me know from the start. We don't have no intentions, so then we could just do this, that, and the other and press on.
Agree.
Yes.
Elma says, to answer, men bring home the bacon. Old saying, traditional, agree, provide, and protect.
Thank you, Elma.
Jasmine says, give me a month's notice in advance for plans. 2 kids ain't for the week. We are booked and busy.
Yes, and I just can't come in and then spontaneously ask you to do some things and then get upset because you can't do them. I should understand what your routine is, what you can and cannot do, and I should be purposeful on when I do want to spend time with you, because every second I take away from you, the person is spending that less time with their children.
But again, if you are sharing 50-50 with your with the kid's father or mother, whatever, the other parent, during that time also is when you can spend time with that person.
Which is the next thing. Possible issues with the ex. Women, I hate to say this.
Yes, I agree.
Y'all love that drama with that ex, man. Especially if you co-parenting. Woo, man.
I agree. I have heard way more issues on the women's side.
Yes.
With causing problems with their ex and his new boo.
Oh, man.
Rather than on the other end.
Yes. I don't know what it is, but you come into a situation.
Are petty and they're like possessive, maybe. Like, even though I don't want him, I don't want you to have him, and I certainly don't want him to be happy with someone else.
I would agree.
Right?
So you just got to make sure that you are straightforward and you find out what the situation is when it comes to the relationship between her and the ex.
Gina says, single moms are the strongest women on the planet. They hold everything over their shoulders, their children, their bills, their everyday task work, all by themselves. I give it to the single women.
Okay. Girl power, Gina. See you. Okay. But yes, possible issues with the ex. You got to make sure that you deal with that.
But do people want to deal with that? A lot of times, I'm sorry, some people may not date because they're like, so-and-so's crazy. I just don't want to bring someone into that.
But see, here's what the issue is. When it comes to a guy, and we're going to get to the father's part, if the ex is a little off, she's crazy.
On a woman's side.
Well, the guy will always use that, like, my ex is crazy. Right?
It ain't me. She's crazy.
The woman don't say the man is crazy.
What does she say?
There's a whole bunch of other things outside of crazy. He's possessive. He's jealous. He's this, that, and the other. But a woman doesn't normally call a guy crazy. She'll call him a stalker. She'll call him this, that, and the other, but she don't call him crazy. Men that normally have a little bit of feelings for the ex and things just didn't go right, normally calls their exes crazy. And normally they're not crazy at all.
He's sticking to that?
Yeah.
He's making her seem crazy.
Yes, because a woman can understand that another woman is crazy. Like if I told you another woman was crazy, you're like, oh, yeah, I believe that. But a woman does not use the word crazy when it comes to a guy. Oh, he's psycho, he's schizophrenic, he's this, that, and the other, he's blah, blah, blah. But she doesn't call the guy crazy because women are nuts. I'm just saying, women can get pretty nasty. So if a guy says she's crazy, normally she's not crazy. She's
but men can be crazy too. But I agree with you. That title is not often given to a man as much as a woman.
Yes.
But continue.
All right. So another challenge would be restricted in authority, especially with the kids. You want me to be in your children's life, but then when it comes to
discipline,
when it comes to authority, they have a dad or me for dad. So then normally, right, you stand back and you just don't say anything because you are not in the position. And if you do say something as a man about the behavior of the child, a lot of times the mother thinks that you're jabbing at her for not being a good mother.
Right.
Which is not normally the case, not necessarily true. Except in Jasmine's case, she got some bad children.
She does not.
No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But yes, restricted on authority is another challenge for the guy when it comes to dating a single woman. Also, it might take longer than usual to get introduced to the children.
Sometimes.
Yes, well, sometimes. Sometimes you just let people come in and out, but normally a woman wants to be secure in you and your intentions before they introduce you to the children.
Jasmine says, laugh out loud, they are so bad.
Yeah, so it might take a little longer than usual to get introduced to the child, but I'll say that on both sides.
Yes, I was going to say that. I think it could be on both sides and maybe a rotating door on both sides too, right? But
yeah,
I feel like sometimes just women are more concerned about others than themselves in general. And so I think that they think things through as far as introducing their kids to someone new. Okay. If it's not like a sure thing.
Right.
So yeah, it does take longer.
Okay.
I would agree.
I can see that.
Next.
The last one is the kids don't want to share the time depending on the age. It might be difficult for you to have a relationship with their mom because their mom's been single for a while. They have a father that's in their lives that they spend time with, and you're not going to come in and interrupt the dynamics of what they already have.
Yeah.
A woman is more, I wouldn't say more, but a woman is definitely emotionally and feelings driven and putting their all into their children because a relationship doesn't work.
The mom is their comfort. That's their safe space.
Correct. So and then the stranger comes in and tries to either take over those feelings from their mother or take over or disrupt the routine of what they already have going on can be an issue.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not going to be in your favor.
Yes, I'm going to start with that one on the single father concerns because that was my concern with you.
Okay.
Because yours and Hennessy's dynamic, you guys were just so close.
Yes.
And at that time, Hennessy was coming into being a teenager, right? She was in middle school. A girl and a daddy's girl, a teenage girl and a daddy's girl. I was scared out of my mind. I'm like, oh God. So it's definitely a concern.
Yeah, because she was a ride or die. That was my road dog. We did everything together. You know what I mean? No matter if it was cooking or we watching movies or whatever, we just did everything together. But by you coming in, she was open to you coming in. It wasn't a bad situation. She
was, but I think my concern was that you guys were so close that it was like question like, where do I fit in? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right. Gina says, yes, that's my problem now. And it matters to me how my children feel in all aspects. Yes. And that could be difficult too, because if your children don't like me and whatnot, especially spending time with you or being around you, period, I don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to juggle your feelings for me and
your kids.
Yeah, your kids. You're going to take, and you should.
take your kids' concerns and
if there's any time when somebody came into I came into their lives and I was dating and I asked where your children were and you left them at home or you did this, that, and the other and made sure that they were not right, I wouldn't give
mess
you
with them.
a second try.
Erica Garcia, hi Erica, says, I finally went back to a relationship after 7 years being single.
Okay.
And he has stepped up to take care of my kids as his own.
Okay.
And it has been great, but it is tough.
What part
my
of
kids
it?
love him and he loves them.
Yeah. Okay, Erica, what has been the toughest thing when it comes to
now
him stepping up?
The combined family, right?
Yeah. What has been the toughest? Jasmine says Hand Rock. Yes, Hand Rock. Like I said, we did our thing for a while. You know what I mean? And we had a bond. We had a certain routine on what we would do and whatnot.
Yes, even traveling was a whole entourage.
Yes, because that's my daughter. So we would do things together. And
I think it helped too because some women are all about wanting the attention. Some women.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Could.
So if you are a parent yourself, I think that helps. Right? Because I was never jealous that you and Hen were so close. I never got jealous. I was accepting of it. It just was more like, where do I fit in? But not like, oh, he's not focusing on me type thing.
Right, because you had your time, and then there was time to
totally.
Yeah,
but I respected your time, right? We would also have date nights with our kids. Like me and Zaylin would go do something, just us, right? Because we were combining our families, but that doesn't mean that we also didn't need our own time.
Right.
And Ron would take Hennessy out for father-daughter
daddy-daughter date night. Because that's what we used to do before. We used to have daddy-daughter date night. And why stop doing that just because I got into a relationship?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't want her. It was already a bad feeling because me and her mom didn't work out. So then I didn't want her to feel like she was alone or
neglected.
pushed to the side. Yes, just because totally you came into the picture.
Right.
So, yeah.
Crystal says, I have dated a single father, and I think that does help. It is hard when one doesn't have kids and they may not fully understand your time constraints.
And I said that.
Yeah.
I said that before when we were discussing this topic. If you come into the picture and he has kids and she has kids, it's like a 50-50. You have an understand.
Yeah. That their priority.
Correct.
And then we figure everything else out after.
Right. Yeah. But when somebody comes into the picture and they don't have kids, they don't understand that you can't just on a Friday just get up and go and meet at the bar or go to a club or go to dinner. You know what I mean? Because you have sitters, you have to worry about what they're going to eat and this, that, and the other. It's not just you and that person.
I agree. All right. So difficulties of dating a single father is he's stuck in his ways as a parent.
Yes.
Right? I've been doing it however long. I've been fine without chiming in my household. Yes. So don't come in and try to tell me how to manage this household.
As a single father, there's a routine. You form a routine and you're stuck in that routine, period. Once you get stuck in that routine, I'm not changing it because as a father, it has worked. It might not have been a great routine, but it's been working. Right. So I'm going to stick to what I know works. Yeah, I'm going to stick to what I know works, period. Don't come and try to change nothing. What you got?
Gina says, is it wrong to date men that don't have kids opposed to the woman having kids? What do y'all think?
Is it wrong to date a man that doesn't have kids?
Opposed to the Gina, you might have to
as if you're a single mom and you don't try to date.
While I was researching this podcast or this episode, there was this one woman who said she is a single parent and she did not date men who
did not have kids.
She didn't date men who had kids. She was a single parent and she did not date men who had kids. Because she says a lot of the things that like one guy, never had time for her, or one guy said, oh, well, I'm not with my kids because their mother has them half time. So she felt like she was like putting a lot of her situation,
right,
but then putting it on them, what went on with her and her ex. So she said it was just easier mentally for her to just date someone without kids.
And that's what she's saying. She said for a long time, I didn't date a man that did not have kids.
Yeah.
My rule was when I was actually dating, I said I would not date a woman that had children younger than my child. you barely made the cut. But I said that was one of my rules. I didn't want to go backward.
And I made the cut.
I did not want to go backwards. So I had in my mind that I would not date a woman seriously that had children that was younger than my child.
And Zaylin, what, they're 4 years difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zaylin was in elementary school when we got together.
Because Hennessy was what, 13?
She
14?
was in middle school.
Yeah.
Whatever you are, 8th going to 9th, right?
Well, I know because when me and her mom split up, Hennessy was 13. So it had to be, she was 14.
Right.
And yes.
Yeah. Jasmine says, I think a difficult part of being single parents and getting together is a conflict in parenting styles.
Difficult part of being a single parent and getting together is a conflict of, okay.
Yep, definitely.
Yes.
That was difficult for us.
Yes, because I'm a totally different parent than she is, even to this day.
Even till this day.
Yeah. Gina says, because I don't do the baby mama drama, especially if they're small kids. Okay, I can see that too.
All right. Next one for the men is does not need a provider. You explain this one. This is me and Ron clearly are not in the same even book.
Yes. So when it comes to providing, a man, when he's a single father, once again, he's already established, he's stuck in his ways. So when he looks at a woman and what she can provide for him, it's normally not like a financial thing. It's normally like comfort, this, that, and the other. I just need a partner, blah, blah, blah. Because all the financial aspects of things are probably already taken care of if he's a single father. Because I think it takes a lot for the courts to award a man to be a single father to a kid.
I agree.
Right. So normally if the court provides that to a father, normally he's financially stable. So then he doesn't need you to bring your finances into it because he thinks that he's already got it taken care of. So he looks at a woman to provide other things, not a financial provider. So
Ron contributed that to the single father list, but on the opposing side of that, to me, that's a negative thing. I don't like you want someone to come in to jump into the mom role and the support, like, especially if you don't have kids, that's not always a fair thing.
Who said that though? I didn't say jump into the mom role.
Again, this is in general, right? Some men who may be struggling holding down their household, right? Maybe they've been single for 6 months to a year.
Okay.
They're just barely hanging on by a thread because maybe in their old household, the woman was the one who held down the fort because he was, as you say, the provider.
Okay.
Right?
I get you.
So now that he is a single father, he may date someone because they're providing those same things that now he no longer has in the household.
Probably.
When some women may be turned off on that. Like, I'm coming into your household, but now you're just wanting me to step in as the nanny, the cleaning,
which one is harder to date? That's probably one of the difficulties. You come in and he doesn't need you to do this, that, and the other, but he wants you to be the mother to him, the nanny, the this, that, and the other, the blah, blah, blah.
And that could be a turnoff to some women.
It could be.
Crystal says, I agree about being a provider. I was a single mom and just wanted a partner, not a provider. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the guy that comes into your life, he tries to be the provider because that's what he thinks his role is to be, is a provider. Right? To ease it out on a lot of occasions, a guy, the first thing that he wants to do is provide. No, you don't think that? Okay.
I know. I'm like, we've already argued this till, yeah. Jennifer Nelson says, nowadays, you best not be petty.
Mm-mm.
If you find a good man, hold on to him.
Same thing. If you find a good woman, hey, do whatever you got to do to hold on to that good woman. But make sure you know that that woman is deep down good, not just surface level good. Yeah. And the man as well.
Okay, I also added, how do I say this? Sometimes there's men who don't know how to manage households and personal time.
True.
Right? Because again, some men are a fish out of water when it comes to being a single father. They just may not, it's just not maybe their comfort level, right? Maybe we're the provider in the household. So then now they're all of it, right?
Well,
and so
I would agree with that. What happens is, like I said before, a guy forms a routine. Mm-hmm. And if that routine is working for the guy, he sticks to that routine.
Right.
Now, and when you come into
in where you fit in.
Right, but when you come into the lifestyle and then you start showing me different things that I probably should be doing, I seem unorganized because I didn't think about this, and this. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just made sure kids was at school, they got fed, blah, blah, blah.
The kids are alive.
Yes, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. But you show me that you might want to do this and this kid needs this and blah, blah, blah. Then I look a little like confused because I didn't know that a child needed some of the things that a woman can bring to the table. Correct.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying is sometimes, not all the time, because there's men out there who are just as good, right? Mm-hmm. But in general, men just don't manage the household as well. And so they find it difficult to balance that and finding time to date because they're already like just barely getting through their schedule.
Yeah,
do you see what I'm saying?
And I would say that there's been a lot when I was actually dating. Mm-hmm. The majority of the time I would actually date, if I did go out on a date, was when I did not have Hennessy. Right. If I did have Hennessy, it was a no-go.
Correct, because you were barely managing to figure it all out.
And I didn't want to leave, and then Hennessy. Now my daughter's either at home or she's with somebody else. Yeah. And that time could be spent for me to be with her. So. Yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Then I have men are less likely to ask or have support in order to have time to date. I feel like their egos are like, I got this, but yet sometimes asking for help allows you to have that personal time to get to know someone else instead of just being a father.
But is it something when, like, let's say a young lady has a child, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say she finds a sitter.
Yeah.
That's responsible.
Okay.
But when a guy does it and he's a single parent, is that responsible? Or are you just pawning your daughter or child off on somebody?
That's normally the ex who already has an issue with your no longer relationship, whether someone cheated or whatever. There's still some animosity there. They're the ones who are going to be like, well, why did you take, I don't know, little Crystal to your parents' house so you could go out with that girl, this, that, and the other. Right?
Because I also see it in a lot of times where you have what I said with single moms, they're expected to do it all, right? Like be the mom, the dad, the this, the blah, 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 the do the schoolwork. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to their responsibilities, it's like, oh, wow, you really do a lot. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to the father and he's doing the same thing, it's like, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
I disagree. I think it's the opposite way. I feel like women, because it's more common for women to like do all, that when there's a man like taking care of what he's supposed to be, he's praised for it. And it's like, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
I would agree with that too. But when it comes to, let's say, a mom doing this, that, and the other, that's like, okay. But then, like she's doing a lot. Like, you got a lot going on. Use this, that, and the other. But when a father says that he's doing the same thing, it's like, what are you complaining about? That's what you're supposed to be doing as a dad.
I could see that perspective.
I guess. Like you're supposed to be. I do also say that what you just said, when you see a guy and he's with his kids, it's like, oh, that's so sweet. That he's their dad. Me, I'm like, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Totally.
It doesn't matter if you a man or whatnot. Right, you get your kids.
Totally.
All right, what's the next one?
All right, next one. Oh, last one. Kids may not be disciplined. Some dads may be the Disney dad because maybe they get them half time, so they don't want to be the bad guy.
Okay, I can see that.
Right?
Especially
maybe
if you have
they
a
only
young
get them
boy.
On the weekends. Or
if you have a boy and he's a single father of a boy, normally the boy gets to do whatever he's got to do as a man. I'm going to teach my boy to be a man. Go out and do what you got to do, player. And when your mom complains, then I'm going to get on you about it. But I ain't going to get on you when you're on my watch. Yes. So once again, if you come into the situation and you're trying to discipline someone after the father has already let this man run a buck,
right,
or muck, or whatever you want to say it, it'll be difficult to date that person,
right?
Because
now his kids are bad.
And I think if a single father, single mothers, they have some bad kids, but if if you're a single father,
you're definitely
to anyone, if you're a single father to a boy or a girl, and the kid is bad, that kid is bad. Like you allow that kid to do whatever it is that kid wants to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
As a single father.
Yeah. Okay. So in hindsight, if you were to go back in time, is there certain people that you wouldn't have dated knowing what you know now? Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's some people where I was like, oh, that I should have known better because this and that. He was not gonna come into my household and be the person he needed to be, or for my kid, or you know what I mean.
So what's
like
your
regrets?
question?
Like, is there ever a person where you're like, that was not a good decision on my part to bring them into our lives? Yeah. Jasmine says, oh my God, the Disney dad. Yes, you got to break that quick. Are you the dad or a fun uncle? Especially coming into my house, which is the conflict of parenting styles.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
When it comes to me, I don't know.
Let me rephrase that. Like, okay. Is there ever a time that you questioned your move? Like, oh, I probably introduced them too early. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or, oh, I should have never introduced them.
No, because I didn't introduce a lot of people to Hennessy. I did not. If I thought that we were going to be dating, like if it was going to be a long-term like dating situation, I introduced you. There's been one person, I think what's her name? Whatever her name was.
It's not important.
No, it's really not.
Because she's not important.
There's only one person that I introduced Hennessy to that I had no intentions on having a relationship with.
So it was a friend.
Yeah.
So that don't count.
Eventually, she became a little nuts, and eventually she became a little nuts, and that was a good position. I did though, and my rule was I was not going to meet your children unless I was going to try to have a relationship with you as well. But I did meet this one lady's child, and he was terrible. He was horrible. Like no discipline on either side, the dad or the mom. No discipline. It was a wrap. I couldn't do it. Yeah. I wanted to cuss this little kid out. I was just like, I can't do it. But she didn't think there's anything wrong. She blamed it on the relationship. So she blamed it on, oh, it's my fault because me and his dad went together, and we don't want to punish him because he's already been through a lot. No, slap him in the mouth. I'm just saying. But that's the only time that I was a little hesitant or backed off from dating someone, is because there was no discipline with the child.
So when you and I dated, it helped me out because when me and Ron first dated, Zaylin was with his dad that summer. And so it gave me and Ron time to get to know each other before. I don't even think did you even meet Zaylin till the second time we got together?
I don't know. Good question.
No, you did. You did, but he was gone for like 2 or 3 months. So you and I were like getting to know each other and able to be like, okay, this is something.
And that was good and bad at the time. It was good because it gave us the opportunity to get to know
each other. Yeah.
But it was bad because I don't know what your routine is.
True. Yeah, because I totally am not in my normal routine.
You're not in your normal routine. You were just free to do whatever, whenever.
Yeah.
You were going to school.
No, I was going to school.
You was going to school, but you still had time either after study or whatever
instead
to do
of
whatever.
And with my kids.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
That's true.
So it was a good and
then
bad situation.
Other than that, I just had a lot of guy friends in general. Like me and my sister had our college friends who lived in town. So we always had like guys around. And so if I was seeing someone being a single mom, right? Like if we're on our way out and then I had to drop Zaylin off with my mom or my sister or whatever, I was never affectionate with anyone I was dating around Zaylin. So he always knew that these people were just my friends because there were guys that were just my friends. So he didn't know any better.
Yeah, I wasn't that way either. Like I said, there's very few people that I would even bring around because I didn't want to be that serial dater or
there's nothing
just
wrong with
some
serial
randos.
daters.
But I didn't want to be
with your kid.
Huh?
You're saying with your kid.
Yeah, I didn't want to. Well, you can serial date, but you can't introduce your children to every single person that you
totally
date.
Agree with that.
Yeah, it wasn't happening that way. So if you were lucky to get in, you got in. You know what I mean? And if in my heart you were a good person, and I thought there was something going to be long term, then I'll bring you to the house. I'll ask Hennessy, hey, what do you think about this person? If she says, then guess what? It was a wrap. Yeah, because my daughter came before anybody else.
Totally agree.
Yes.
So I think the only thing I feel like I can provide an opinion on this is communication. Okay. Of what the expectations are on both sides. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if you can't provide me the time that I expect, then this isn't going to work. Or, hey, if you can't understand, I need you to be flexible. Or, I may call last minute and be like, hey, the kids happen to go stay the night with their friends on Friday. Like that type of thing, like unexpectedly. And you're not game, like it's just not going to work. But I think communicating what the expectations are is important.
Correct.
And I also think a little bit of understanding, because we are two different people. We do have different households. Mm-hmm. And so just trying to understand their situation.
Right. The understanding part, in my opinion, comes from you have to understand that you are not going to be first.
Totally.
When you come into a relationship, if somebody that you come into a relationship automatically puts you in front of their children,
run.
Yes, it should be a red flag. The person's child, no matter if it's on the single mom or the single father's side, should always come first. And then you find out through communication on what you need to do to either improve or enhance a relationship.
I also don't think I would date anyone if I knew they had a kid and then wasn't involved in their kids' lives.
It just depends on how they're involved, because they have some situations where you're not involved, but you have the other parent that is coaching the kid to not, have a relationship.
I agree, but if you give up, I would judge you.
Okay.
I would be like, there's no, you keep trying. You keep trying. Those are your kids.
Right.
Whether it's sending them a letter, whether it's something, let them know you are on my mind and I am here, even though you're not being allowed to see me.
I hear you. And on the flip side as well is if you, let's say, you don't have a good relationship with your children. Like for me, if you're a mother and you don't have custody of your kids, to me, that's a red flag.
I agree.
If it's not financial, my question would be, why don't you have custody of your kids?
Yeah, especially most states.
Yeah.
The women normally get priority.
Not even custody, just visitation. If you don't visit your kids or have time with their kids as a mother, then to me,
I agree.
That's a red flag. You should put me above all of
also,
that.
too, though, they may have say it's like a doctor. Unfortunately, his schedule is hectic.
Maybe.
Right? So you do have to take that into consideration sometimes is they gave the other parent more of custody or whatever, or you visitation because your schedule just doesn't allow.
Right, but that's a part of communication. If you communicate that to me, and then I'm going to start watching to see if that's really the case or not.
Yeah.
So all in all, which one do you think, to wrap this up, which one do you think is a harder or more difficult person to date? A single mother or a single father, in your opinion?
I say the single father.
Okay.
Because I say the single father because I am a single mother, and I feel like most women day in, day out know how to juggle their schedules and are able to fit someone in. And a woman, if they want to see someone, they will make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christine says, anyone you date, you must be in tune with parenting styles as well. That is similar to yours because it has a lot of potential for being an issue. We don't have similar parenting styles. We have, I guess,
have the basis.
Yeah, the basis of a common goal.
But our approach, maybe it's our approach.
Yeah, it's totally different.
We agree on the things that should and shouldn't be done, but our approaches are different.
Yeah, how to get to that point.
Yes,
is we're totally
different.
Yeah, on
I
a
agree.
different page.
Yeah. So how about you?
I would agree. I would say a single father is more difficult to date than a single mother, and I only say this because the expectations of a single father, in my opinion, are greater than the expectations of a single mom. A single father has to have it together. He has to prove this, that, and the other. And for him to even get to that position to be a single father probably had to be a lot that man went through to be a single father.
Correct.
So then once he gets that title of being a single father, he tries to make sure everything that he has is in order and he doesn't allow too much wiggle room.
Right.
When it comes to being a single mother, there's a little bit of wiggle room on what you can and can't do. And a lot of times it's maintainable. Single fathers are sometimes stubborn. They're stuck in their ways and you're not going to change. And normally, I say normally, in a single father's point, when you have a single father, the mother is somewhere around the mix. When it comes to a single mother, sometimes the father is nowhere to be found.
She's doing it on her own.
Yeah, there's no time. Yeah, sometimes the father is nowhere
no
to be found.
Correct.
Yeah. So a single father, he shares that time.
Yeah.
A lot of times with the single mother, the father is just ghost.
True.
Yeah. So it's harder, in my opinion, to date a single father versus a single mother. However, no matter how many children that the individual has, or if they're a single father or a single mother, if that person is for you, you pursue that person and you do whatever it takes for you to be happy with that individual. I'm pretty sure through effective communication, you guys will come into a common ground on how to parent or what is needed to progress in a relationship. Don't discard somebody because you are afraid to take on a little bit of responsibility if you're interested in someone. On the flip side, if you're not interested in someone that has kids, do not get involved with that person. Don't waste
their time.
Yeah, don't waste their time. Don't introduce yourself to their children.
Nope.
Don't get involved into their lives and then decide to go ghost.
Yeah,
if you're not going to be
with
involved,
what you want.
right, just
agree.
press on. Leave that person alone.
Good one, babe.
There you go.
That's a good one. Well, that's all we have for today.
Yes.
It is a holiday weekend, so you guys be safe.
Please.
And have a good holiday, and join us again next Thursday.
Next Thursday, we shall be on here. So thank you guys for all of your support, for everyone that chimed in. We really appreciate you spending some time with us today and every week. Until next Thursday, we'll see you then.
Peace.